Guys, I literally almost died last night. I'm not even joking with you. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm gonna be creating this look over here using this Tarte's Pro palette by Tarte. This is what it looks like. Smells delicious. Smells like chocolate and vanilla, but it is going to be less of a tutorial and more of a chit chat. Get ready with me. I am going to be opening up to you guys about my past experience with anxiety. So if that's something you're interested in, then just keep on watching. So I thought, since something happened to me last night, which reminded me of something that I've gone through in the past, I would discuss it with you guys, and that is topic of anxiety, because I got really bad anxiety a couple years ago when I was going through a really rough time in my life, and it was more of like a transition out of a chapter, and you know, I was going through a lot, so all of a sudden I experienced anxiety, and I actually had no idea what anxiety was before. I thought when people say, oh yeah, I have anxiety, it's just like, they're just saying, oh, I'm really stressed. But until it doesn't happen to you, you really actually don't understand what you feel and what you go through. The only way I could really describe it to you is if you've ever smoked really bad weed and you end up really tripping out. That's what it feels like. Like you have no control over your thoughts. You have no control over anything that goes through your mind. And pretty much you're in no control. So what ended up happening was I was sitting over dinner with someone, and we were just chatting about some really deep topics that, you know, obviously brought out the stresses that were already there. So, sorry. I'm really bad at multitasking when it comes to doing makeup and talking, so please excuse that. But yeah, during that time, we just started talking about some topics, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I had this weird feeling in my stomach that I had never felt before, and I just really felt sick. I felt nauseous. My stomach was churning. In a way, I felt like I didn't know where I was, and I was like, what are we doing here? Like, what's going on? And I thought at that very moment, I had lost my mind. I thought I have some sort of a mental disorder, and I fully freaked out just based on that. So we got our food to go. We ended up going back home, and at this point, the stress level and the weird feeling was so much that I ended up really not knowing where I was. I was like confused, just like utterly just so confused. I had no idea what was going on. And the weird part was that even though the person that I was with at the time like was totally harmless, I felt scared. I actually felt scared of them. And I was like, oh my God, I'm like afraid of being around this person. I don't really feel safe, even though, again, I had no reason to feel that way. So I was like, hey, can we go for a walk? We went for a walk, and I was like, okay, I need to go to the hospital. Like my heart was beating out of my chest, and I was like, what the fuck is happening to me right now? This was just a feeling that I didn't even know existed. So yeah, they were like just trying to calm me down, and they're like, you're okay, you're just tripping out. And I'm like, no, you just don't understand what I'm really going through. You just, it's not normal. So that whole night I had insomnia. Like I was not able to sleep. I stayed up the whole night just looking at the wall. Again, I was told that it was gonna go away and I shouldn't worry about it. So I didn't do anything about it. I thought it was just whatever it was just there temporarily, and it was going to go away. So next morning I woke up after like a short nap that I had, and I was fine for an hour until it hit me again. Again, my heart started rushing like crazy. I couldn't drive because I didn't even trust myself to drive, because my mind was, like I told you, it's like I was high. That's like the only way to actually put it. And my mind was thinking about 200 million things. So then the second day passed by, wasn't eating anything. I couldn't function. I was just sitting in bed. So I ended up telling my mom what was going on. I was like, Mom, I think I actually have schizophrenia or something. Like I'm losing it up there. So she's like, no, you don't have that. It must be something else. Let's go to a psychologist or psychiatrist. I don't know which one they are. But we ended up going and seeing somebody. And I had like an hour and a half session with them. And I explained what was happening and all my symptoms and whatnot. And they said, don't worry about it. If you had schizophrenia, you would not be admitting to it, because when someone has that, they actually don't know that they have it, but you're coming here and saying, I have it, which that wouldn't be the case. And obviously, all my other symptoms weren't really matching up to having that. They said, you're just having major anxiety and you also have had a panic attack. So then I ended up understanding the basis of what was going on until I went home, started reading about it, researching about it, and just understanding what's really going on in my head. That still, going to that therapy session didn't help me just going once. So I ended up having to go 4 or 5 different times and just using different methods to kind of get over anxiety and like help cope with it. So days passed by. I ended up going to this Chinese doctor who like did acupuncture and like natural healing. I actually totally forgot what it's called, but I'll put it right here once I think about it. But ended up going to him. He did a little assessment on me. He gave me these natural herbal pills that he's like, take 3 twice a day. And I am very against pills. Like I would never go to a doctor and get like Xanax or something like that. And no judgment towards anybody who does take pills like that. But I just don't want anything that's chemical and like just harmful for your body. So when he assured me that these have no harm, they're all plant-based, like they're safe even for like kids to take, and maybe it was a placebo, I don't know, but whatever it was, it significantly helped my anxiety like this. I actually swear by them. Actually, one of my girlfriends was going through anxiety as well. I told her to go get them and it worked wonders for her. So did that for a while until my anxiety slowly, with the therapy that I was going, stopped. And obviously the stressful things that were going on in my life, I ended up putting an end to that. And finally, I ended up getting over my anxiety. Now, fast forward to last night. Right now, looking back at it, I don't really feel like I'm stressed. I'm not going through anything major. Knock on wood, I'm in a very happy, stable place. Other than what's happening overseas with Iran and all the people that are suffering with lost family members and just people of my country, everybody, even though they're not directly affected, everybody is actually very much affected by everything that's going on. Other than that kind of stress, I'm not really going through anything personally. So I don't know why this happened to me last night. Thinking about it right now, I haven't had an anxiety attack in so long. It's been probably like 3-4 years that I'm clear of it. I have no symptoms. I have no weird things that end up happening to me. I was just editing my feed and out of nowhere, I felt like I couldn't breathe. Like this is the first time that's ever happened to me. I felt like I forgot how to breathe, and even thinking about it, like how to breathe, I wasn't able to do it, which was so fucking scary because for I don't know how long it was, I actually couldn't breathe at all. And it was just so scary because every second that passed by, I felt like it was getting harder to like survive, which is just really dramatic to say. But so I tried to get up and I was so short of breath that I actually collapsed to the floor and I fell. And I started to like hold on to my neck to just try to, I don't know, like just activate it. After maybe another 10 seconds, I finally was able to take a deep breath in and open up my, what do you call it? Like breathing way. So my face went pitch white. I've never ever seen myself look like that. I honestly look like a ghost. And borderline blue because I feel like I hadn't gotten any oxygen. So I started to go blue and I quickly just rushed to the washroom, and I never drink tap water. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but I'm just like very picky like that. But I just like literally splashed water into my mouth and I was just like trying to get water in my system. So I just kind of like wake up and start breathing again and just like wake my system up. I don't know. That's just the first thing I thought about. And from then on, I would just trying to, and my hands were like shaking as if I was like dancing. I was just shaking so freaking hard, and even thinking about it right now is just like really stressing me out. So because I was tripping out thinking that it's gonna happen again to me, every 10 minutes, this anxiety, crazy anxiety would hit where my hands would be shaking, my face would go white again, my heart would be beating out of my chest. I felt like I wanted to like call the ambulance. What if there's something actually more serious going on? But I chickened out and I was like, let me just like deal with this myself. I felt like I saw death, and I saw it like 10 times last night because it kept happening to me. Not the breathing part, the aftermath of it, where I was like getting purple and like my face was going white, and it's almost like my brain just started forgetting how to breathe, which is just really scary. So I guess that's another type of anxiety attack that I had. I think it's more of a panic attack than an anxiety attack. Knock on wood, today when I woke up, I don't have any of the symptoms anymore. I just really don't know what I went through, and I don't really understand what happened. But I'm very thankful that I'm okay and I didn't die, because I honestly was convinced that in that moment when I collapsed to the floor and I fell, I really got freaked out. But anyways, I thought I'd just share that just in case anybody else is experiencing it. When you're having anxiety, you actually feel like it's going to last forever and that you're never going to be able to get rid of it. But not true. You do have to be a little bit patient, and you do have to seek help, and definitely try to stay away from any sort of like chemical or, you know, like harmful pills that get you addicted and get you hooked up on them, because I really just think you guys should stay away from that. It's not good for you. But the herbal way is definitely a much safer way in case you do feel like you actually need something. But definitely talk to somebody, and it's just something that's temporary that your body's experiencing, and over time you will get over it. Anyways, change of topic. It is so freaking snowy in Vancouver, and I just feel like I can't function. I'm stuck at home. I keep getting snowed in, which is not fun. Pretty much Vancouver is not at all prepared for snow. So when it snows, everybody gets snowed in, except for people who live in downtown, which is super nice if you do. But anybody who lives elsewhere, I feel like we all suffer. Kind of want to keep the eyes a little bit on the natural side today, so I'm not going to go too crazy with it. Just taking a little bit of mascara. My God, I am so happy to be alive. Like, I know I keep saying that, but I just really mean it. Like, I actually got to experience death for a second time. The first time it ever happened to me was when I was swimming in the ocean and I didn't wear a vest. And it was later in the day where it was getting really cold. And on top of that, we jumped in a place where, first of all, we were drunk too. Second of all, there were like really big water swirls happening. If that's even a word, I don't know. But like, you know, when the water's so deep that it starts like having swirls, I ended up stupidly jumping into that. I almost freaking sunk in the bottom of the ocean, and I was going through actually hypothermia because I was drunk. I didn't wear a vest. The water was sucking me in. It was really freaking cold because it was 7 p.m. What the hell was I thinking? I think I had a death wish at that time. So I don't feel sorry for myself in that very moment, but you know, you do stupid things when you're drunk. So I paid the price for it. But this one was actually out of my hands. I actually had no say over this. Okay, I'm gonna go on right now to face makeup. This is where I usually place my foundation slash, well, I use foundation as concealer. I know nobody does that, but I do. So I kind of just like work it into where it is. And then I go in with a beauty blender and blend, blend, and blend. So white. Just going in with my NYX palette. Sometimes I like just brush through all of this top section, but more so in the last one. And it's gonna fall, I swear to God. trick on blending this lame ass line. I go in with a highlighter, and where that line is, I start putting the highlighter and it just sort of blends it out. Just go in with this yellow shade over here and just clean up under my jawline. Kind of make it sharp a little bit. Now time for a second coat of mascara. Can't leave it at one. Oh no, there's a piece of hair here. I am just adding a final touch, going in with this purpley shimmery shade called Dominate, and I'm just going to be going under my eyes. All right, and I would say this is it for the final look. I hope you guys found it useful with me opening up and sharing my experience on anxiety. If there's anything that you feel I could help you with, don't hesitate to message me on my Instagram at Moods by Goly, or if you just want tips and tricks, I definitely will share anything that I found useful to me. It happens to everybody. You're not alone and you're not weird for going through it. Other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. Until next time.